Alright, and he picks up the paddle to start his one lap around the lake journey. Hi, at the risk of overdoing these spring outdoor videos, I'm back with another famous trilogy. This time, instead of like doing a first part of a trilogy and then weeks later finishing up with 2 and 3, I'm doing the whole trilogy at one time, which is probably titled something like One Full Lap Around the Lake, or A Full Lap Around the Lake, or whatever. Obviously this is part 1 of 3. I did this today on Saturday, April 4th, I believe, right? I'm just checking on the computer. Yeah, Saturday, April 4th, 2015. And when I left, actually, I did some this and that outside, and it was actually like at 11 a.m. and noon and stuff like that. It was sunny. I mean, the air, unfortunately, after my biking, after Wednesday when it was like 80 or whatever, I think that was Wednesday, I had said, I think on a commentary, that it was going to get cool again, which of course it did, unfortunately, but I mean, it's above freezing and no snow, so I guess I can't complain too much. But the air is cold again, and it's just like, yikes. So like 11 a.m. and noon and stuff, the sun was out pretty strong, and I did some stuff outside or whatever, and when I was done, I'm like, I wasn't intending on kayaking for a while because, I mean, it was like 50 degrees today, but the sun was out, and I'm like, just screw it. I wanted to do this video for you guys I mentioned in my video, which is a few videos back, called, shit, I don't know what it's called off the top of my head right now. Damn. Oh, A Tour of the Lake, maybe, I think it's called, where I did a few seconds, maybe, I don't know how long it was, of this particular kind of a shot with the GoPro mounted in front of me and, facing back. And I'm like, at that time, that day, that was just a test to see what it looked like, and having, watched it back, I'm like, wow, it's amazing. So my intention had always been to do, as I said on the commentary of that video, to do more of that. And I'm like, well, let's do a full lap around the lake with the GoPro set up like that. And as I mentioned in that video, I tilted down a little bit so you can see more of the water in this particular video. And so, like I say, I mean, this shot, with GoPro like this, I mean, in my opinion, just looks freaking fantastic, and it really just puts you there. I mean, it really puts you there. And I thought also, because I did a test, I did another test with the GoPro where I paddled close to shore, and I was like, wow, because of the wideness of the lens, you can not only see what I'm up to in paddling and stuff like that, but you can kind of actually, look at the lakeshore, if you so choose and stuff. So I'm like, well, let's do that, method with the GoPro, aiming back at me, and just do a whole lap, and just, like I did the whole distance of the trail. In case anyone wants to watch it, you're free to do so, of course. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, God dang, it's just unbelievable, because I'm like 38, and of course, when I was a kid, we never had one. But when I was a kid in the 80s and stuff, pretty much the only way you're gonna videotape anything was with one of those big, clunky VHS shoulder mounted, where you VHS, video cameras, where you have to, have it on your shoulder. And being of the particular age I am, being 38 and getting on in years and stuff, I gotta tell you that I as much as a lot of technology bugs the shit out of me and pisses me off, there are aspects of technology, like just MP3 technology, and I mean, certainly just the ability now to record video with cameras that, like I say, are the size of this GoPro, which is just so small and light, and you can get an image like this. I mean, it shoots a hell of a clearer image than you're seeing. I'm doing it at a lower, uploaded as a lower resolution, so I can upload it faster. But I mean, the image quality that it can record in is just unbelievable. Not to mention just the color and the wideness, and it just on a little, teeny weeny little box mounted on top of a tripod sitting in a kayak. I mean, you can really just make a video like this that really puts you there. So I'll tell you when we come to all this stuff has I'll tell you when we come to what I've already shown in that one video, Let's Tour the Lake. This right here is, you're seeing all new stuff, stuff that you've never seen before. And this part of the lake is kind of, my least favorite, because obviously it's right by a road, and I've because I'm just like a potentially highly sensitive person and paranoid and everything like that. I've often thought about, what if a drunk, you don't even have to be drunk, you can just be looking at your cell phone or just be an idiot or daydreaming or whatever. What if some car, drove off the road? There's a kind of a curve there, and what if they just kept going straight and ran right into me? And it's just like, how did you get rolled into the hospital, the ER, or the emergency room, and it's just like, what happened? And it's just like, a car hit me. What were you doing? I was kayaking on the lake. And a car hit you? Just take my word for it. But luckily that's never happened, and with any good fortune it will never happen. But that would be very ironic. And then you'd have to tell people, like, if you tell people, not that I have anyone to tell, but if you had some kind of a scar or something like that, how'd you get that? A car hit me while I was kayaking on the lake. And then be like, are you drinking? No, I don't touch this stuff, don't eat it. But like I say, I mean, so far all this stuff is stuff that you haven't seen as far as lakeshore and stuff. But this is generally what I do when I go to this particular lake. Is I don't know, the reason I like to do a lap is just because, basically, when you're kayaking and stuff, if you're out in the middle of a big open, if you're in the middle of a big lake or in the middle of a lake, it's just like you don't necessarily feel like you're going anywhere. But if you're, obviously, as you can tell, if you're right by the shore, you have more of a sense of, like, getting more bang for your buck as far as, I just like the idea of a lap, and I like to look at the shore and stuff like that, and so that's why I just, over the months and stuff of kayaking, I just kind of formed this particular thing of what I do. Right now we're on the side of the lake. It's really cold right here. I'm actually cold and kind of pissed. Not pissed because I'm doing what I love, but the wind is really cold and it's blowing on me, and at some point here I'll be like shaking my head and just like, damn it, because this is the most difficult part of the lake, because the wind's blowing from the other side of the lake, and this is the windiest. It's kind of a bit of a challenge right here. It's windier than it looks. You can see my facial expressions of my here I'm like, god damn it, damn day after all shit. But we survived. So like I say, I don't know if, I think I've already said it was like 50 degrees today, and generally I don't really generally do the kayak on a overcast 50-degree day, but like I said, when I left my place with the kayak, it was actually intermittent sun, and then when I got there, of course, excuse me, it was completely turned to nothing but clouds. So what do you know, we're coming to a point here that you're gonna recognize the dock if you've watched any of the if you've watched the video I did, the first kayak video I did, which was a topic, one of my topics, which was softening the blow of rejection. You see this particular dock that I'm going to come up to any minute now in the background, and the dock was first seen in the video first part of three of the biking on a beautiful spring day when I biked onto it. So there's the dock there on your left, and the wind just, I came over, the dock was covering up the wind, and as soon as I came out from the other side of the dock, it was like the wind just was, doesn't look like it, but you can tell I'm kind of pushing against the wind. It's, yeah, it's cold and windy. We're going to come to a point here that's a nice kind of, there I am, gosh darn it, like the guy from Christmas Story, reckon, frecken, second, fruiten, tooten, bleiten, stetten, fruiten. But you can see on my face, it's kind of tough and it's kind of cold. Like I say, I don't generally kayak, you know, in 50-degree weather, but I had hoped for some sun to offset the cold. But as long as I was there and I was all set up with the camera and everything like that, you know, I'm kind of not one of these people who's just going to turn away and, you know, go home. I'm going to do what I came to do, kind of a thing, you know. So I did a lap, and it all turned out. But now we're approaching this really cool kind of area, which is a little bit sheltered from the wind, and I actually find a bobber here, and you get to see in real time, you get to see proof that I actually do pick up bobbers when I find them. So it's really kind of a nice bobber too. I'm not a fisherman, but it's kind of a nice bobber. And it occurred to me today, you know, I find all these bobbers over the years and months and stuff, and I just bring them home and put them in this can or whatever, and it's just like, you know, I should have like a pouch or something in the kayak that I just keep them in, you know, so then when I come across some cute fisher, you know, girl who's fishing or whatever, I can be like, here you go. I tried to grab the bobber, and I was going way too fast, but as you can see, there's my good Samaritan thing for the year or the decade there, or just kidding, it's for the day. Picking up some trash, picking up a bobber, and luckily they're so easy to see and bright and everything that I was able to see it. They're really easy to catch. I mean, you can see them from like far away, like eagle eye. So now, you know, directly behind the camera in front of me, there's a boat launch for this particular lake, and there's some couple, mom and dad and some girl actually out in front of me kayaking. And I don't know, she just kind of went out just a little ways, like a few yards, and pedaled back. I don't know if it was her first time trying or what, but I'm kind of, that's what I'm watching here. And there's also some guy putting in a boat. And you know, this spring and stuff, I'm really much more, today in the spring and stuff, I'm kind of more of a mindset of trying to be more outgoing and social, you know, when I'm out in the world in these kind of settings. And, you know, I figure people who are at a lake and stuff anyways, in the spring and stuff, I mean, you know, they are, it's not like they're at work and all grumpy and stuff. They're out in the spring at the lake and stuff. So I talked to 4 separate people today. So here's the first one. You can't hear what I'm saying, but I can tell you. Where'd the sun go? I say. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, it'll come. He says, it'll come back or something. I'm like, I hope it'll come back. Something like that. But I actually talked to 4 separate people today on the lake, and that was a pretty good one. You know, at least they responded and whatever, and it's just kind of a little interlude or whatever. Like I say, I'm going to try to continue to do that. Just, you know, there they are, the 2 parents pulling the girl in the kayak, you know, kind of onto shore so she can get out, and the guy putting the boat in. But I'm going to try to do that when I'm out in the, you know, bike trail and on the lakes and river and stuff like that, and be, you know, a little more, normally I'm much more, I don't know, introverted and stuff, and try to be more outgoing. But we're coming to a close here of part 1 of 3 of this trilogy of doing a lap around the lake. So thank you very much for watching, and be sure, if you'd like to, check out part 2 and 3 as well. So thanks a lot, and we'll catch you in the next part.